Hello Year 1 and welcome to your Week 9 Geography lesson with Explorer Pivonsky. We're here to visit distant places and see what's around the world. Now, as an explorer, what's something that I should be using when I want to go to a new place? Could it be a map? I hope you are thinking a map because maps are wonderful things that help explorers such as Explorer Pivonsky find out about the land. So I hope you've guessed by now that today's lesson is going to be all about maps. In today's lesson, this is our world. We are learning to describe the features of a local place using a map. We know we are successful when we can draw a map using symbols. So for today's geography lesson, you'll be drawing a map of your local area. Let's find out some more about what a map is. I want you to think about these questions. What is a map? What do maps show? What does a map look like? What things does it have on it? And why do we need maps? Have a think. Pause the video if you'd like to. You can write down some of these answers or talk to your parents or a brother or sister about these questions to explain what you think what maps are. I'm going to keep going. So a map is a drawing of all or part of the Earth's surface. So sometimes we see maps of the whole Earth, or sometimes we see only a small part, like your suburb. The purpose of a map is to show where things are and how far away they are from each other. Maps may show visible features such as rivers and lakes, forests, buildings, and roads. We can see maps of whole countries to find out important locations and cities, or we can see maps of suburbs and streets to find our way to new locations. So most maps are drawn on a flat surface. Maps that are displayed on a round surface, because the world is round, are called globes. So this is a map of a park. These are the features of a map. We have drawings. We have a title in the top corner. The title is called Park Map. Most maps also have the compass directions: north, south, east, and west on the other side. We also have a key. The key tells us what the symbols or drawings on the map are. So if you see a drawing that looks like this, we know that it stands for a tree. If you see a yellow box like this, the key tells us that that is a sandbox. So we have symbols on the map and the key tells us what the symbols are. Symbols are things or drawings that stand for something else. Sometimes the drawing might be very close to what the thing is or that it represents, but sometimes the drawing might be very different. Here are some symbols here. This symbol here you might have seen on a bin. It means to recycle. This symbol often stands for a hospital. If you see a knife and a fork on a map, you wouldn't think, oh, I can buy a knife and fork there. That probably means a place where you can eat, a restaurant. If you see a man and a woman, that symbol doesn't mean, oh, you'll find a man and a woman there on the map. It probably means a toilet, which is very important if you're in a new place. It's good to know where the toilets are. So what you're going to do is you're going to draw a treasure map for your local area. What are you going to include on your map? What symbols will you use? The X, because treasure maps always have X marks the spot on them, can be your favorite place in the local area or a place where you'd like to hide a treasure. Here is my map that I've drawn, but I'll show you a close-up of this a little bit later. Because when you are thinking about your local area, you might think, you know what, I can't go out of my house. We're in a lockdown now. We can't go exploring to find out what's in our local area. But there are other things that can help us. One of those things is a software program that you can get on the internet called Google Earth, or it's an application on the internet. Google Earth allows us to see a top view of a location. So we can use this top view to draw a map. Let's go to Google Earth now to have a look how it works. So please bear with me as I switch from my presentation to Google Earth. So this is what our planet looks like. This is Earth seen from outside of the planet. This is what Earth would look like if you were in a spaceship. Google Earth can be used to zoom in on different parts on the Earth's surface. So you can zoom in down here on the plus and minus, and you can also spin the globe to find the place that you want. I want to go visit Sydney, and I want to visit my local area of Parramatta. So I'm going to zoom in on this area here. It might take me a few goes, so please have some patience, but we can do this. So as you zoom in, you might want to keep spinning to find the location that you are after. So I'm going to keep zooming, keep zooming, keep zooming. I can see that I'm getting closer to some built spaces, and I want to get to Sydney. So I'm going to keep going in, closer and closer and closer. Oh, I better move the globe because I don't want to end up in the water. So we can see that as we zoom into Sydney, we have less natural features like bush, and we have more built features like buildings and roads. So now I can start to see some suburbs popping up. A moment ago, I'll just zoom out quickly to show you, I had Castle Hill show up and Parramatta show up. So I know that I live somewhere in this area here, so I'm going to zoom into that area to show my local government area. So I can do a map of this area. So here we've got Carlingford, where our school is. I'm going to keep zooming, and I actually live in Northmead. That's in the Parramatta local government area, which you can see just on the edge there. So there's Northmead there. So I live in this suburb, and in my local area, I've got some fantastic bushwalks. So when I draw a map of my area, I want to include this space here. It's called Lake Parramatta. I like to go walking there. Sometimes if I go for a very long walk, I walk through bushland to get to school. So I can walk through this bush along here, and we actually have our school somewhere here in Carlingford. I might zoom in to show you where the school is. So we keep going. I'm going to move the globe a little bit. Let's keep zooming in to find our school. So we've got North Rocks Park here. We've got the Larka Falls, which I know sometimes we go walking through. And here we have, just on the side, our school. Here's Cumberland School, and here is Carlingford West. You can see some of our demountables. So now that I have a close-up of this area, I'm going to draw a very simple map of the places that I like to visit. So I live in Northmead. I like to walk around Lake Parramatta, and sometimes I walk through the bush to get to our school, Carlingford West Public School. So this is a top view of the land, but now I'm going to change that into a drawing and I'll show you what I've done. I'll present again. Just give me one moment. So we've gone to Google Earth, we've seen a top view of our local area, and this is my drawing. I've turned mine into a proper pirate map by colouring it in with watercolours, making it a dark brown colour, light brown colour, and I've singed the edges. So I've drawn my home in Northmead. There are shops close to my home that I sometimes go to. Here is my favourite walk around Lake Parramatta, and if I walk through the bush, I can get to school. And here is my key as well. This tree drawing stands for bush, so I've got two areas of bush that I can go walking in. The little square with the apple in it, that's a symbol for the shops. And the building with the little clock tower at the top is a symbol for a school. I know our school doesn't have a clock tower, but remember, it's just a symbol, and it's the symbol that I've chosen to represent a school. So this is my map of my local area. I've got a title, I've got the compass points, I've got different locations that I go to, and my X marks the spot is at Lake Parramatta because that's where I love walking. So now it's your turn. You can use Google Earth to see what your suburb or your area looks like, or you can draw it from memory. You're going to draw your map, take a photo of it, and then upload it to Seesaw. Then you record your voice explaining which place is your treasure spot, which is your X marks the spot. Maybe that's your favorite place or somewhere where you'd like to hide treasure. Good luck, you one, and I hope you have fun making your treasure map. Bye for now.